Now, Greg, often we ask fighters, what fighters they drew inspiration from. Like,
Yeah.
who did you watch?
Yeah.
You're a fighter and a trainer.
Yeah.
So we're going to reverse it. What trainers did you watch growing up that you stole stuff from, that you picked from?
I mean, of course, mainstream, being a young kid, Emmanuel Stewart was big. And I mean, Emmanuel Stewart, he made a lot of sense. And one thing I picked up from him was to take this shit so serious. Like, you know what I mean? Don't play with this shit at all. You know what I mean? Go ahead and get that guy out of there. Why are you wasting time? Why are you sitting here trying to dance and look pretty? Make this shit happen. You know what I mean? And he had no problem cursing out a world-class fighter. I've seen him curse out a Klitschko. I've seen him curse out a heavyweight, what's my guy named? The Dreads. Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis.
Yeah, he don't play. He cursed out
Tommy
plenty
Hearns.
of the middleweights. Yeah. So I love that about him. I love that he didn't have no picks. Kevin Carmody, my own coach. I love how he broke the game down. Bozy, of course. Fred Jenkins. Fred Jenkins was like, watching Fred Jenkins was like watching the mob boss. You know what I'm saying? He the way his guys followed him, nobody would talk. You know what I'm saying? And they came strictly for business. Brother Nazim was like the first, like, to me, like a superstar. Not because he had a big following or anything, because we didn't have social media. But Brother Nazim had this presence where he knew who he was and he knew the kind of dogs he had. You know what I mean? And he didn't fuck around. With Bozy was just like the owner of the motorcycle club. Like, don't come in here unless, you know what I mean, you're looking for trouble. Like Bozy, I enjoyed going to Bozy's and getting sparring because it was like you was entering a club. Like, and everybody was down, everybody looked different, but everybody could fight, and you knew what it was. And the motherfucker that run the club, he'd jump in there with you too. I always love that aspect of it. But then, you know what I mean, during my history, Georgie Benton, to me, was a magnificent coach. You know what I'm saying? He knew how to adjust to the fighters. He knew, like, if you paid attention to Georgie Benton, he talked different to each guy. You know what I mean? How he talked to Holyfield, he didn't talk to Meldrum, and he didn't talk the same to my man, Sweet Pig. So
Now, can you expound on Georgie Benton and what he means to boxing? Because I'm not sure people know what style that he created.
I mean, Georgie Benton, first of all, turned pro at 16 years old. He's fighting grown men. That alone is amazing. Shoulder roll was his thing. Philly shell was his thing. Whichever you want to call it. Nobody did it better than him. You know what I mean? Because he sat in front of pure punchers, stayed in that stance, and he would beat you back with that right hand every time. You know what I mean? Mayweather perfected it, yeah. He added some movement to it. He added some little drop moves to it, shit like that. But if you really go back and watch Georgie, he show you how that shit go at 100 miles per hour. You know what I mean? One of the fights you can watch right now is Georgie Benton, Hurricane Carter. He gave you that all night. You know what I mean? I believe that was a 12-round fight. He gave that to you all night. That was beautiful to see. Georgie Benton had over 60 fights, great pro. But then to be able to coach after a long career like that, you know what I mean, that showed how amazing he was. You know what I mean? And he was a well-respected man in Philadelphia, so it meant a lot to me to really study Georgie Benton and understand who he was. Now, on the other side of things, Nacho Berenstein, old school. I like his adjustment game. I like the shots he worked on. You know what I mean? I like how he pick up timing. You know what I mean? He was real nasty. I don't know, man. It's a lot of coaches, man. And up to date, I'm a Dawood Bey fan. I'm a big Dawood Bey fan because he a pure teacher. You know what I mean? And his analogies, sometimes they drag out with how he breaks shit down. And sometimes he'll take it somewhere else and he'll mix rap with boxing. You're like, yo, how the fuck could that even mix? You know what I'm saying? But then it'll end up making sense. So I'm a big Dawood Bey fan. Let me see. I like my man a lot from out of Texas, Earl Smith's trainer.
Derrick James.
Derrick James. I like Derrick James a lot. You know what I mean? I'm a big Derrick James fan. He's a fan. He's a no nonsense type of guy. You know what I mean? And he wants you straight to the point. He wants you touching that body. He wants you breaking the man down. That's all he wants. So, I mean, I like guys like that. I like guys who, you know what I mean, who really mean what they say. Who really mean what they say. And just come through. And let me see, Derrick James. I always like Uncle Dre out of New York. Andre Rozier, flashy guy, you know what I mean? He made sure his whole team was fly, you know what I'm saying, looking good, putting on, you know what I mean, great shows. He had a lot of national champions. You know what I mean? I like a lot of coaches, you know what I mean? I like some coaches who you may have never heard of, but you know what I mean? I like guys who's serious about the sport and understand what's actually going on in the ring. You know what I mean? Not guys who just telling you what to do. You know what I mean? Guys who really understand what's going on.
When you're watching a coach, right? And obviously you haven't been in camps with everybody.
Yeah.
You listening to the corner, listen for the adjustments, or looking at their body of work, or a combination of both.
Listen, I got to see Sugar Hill work with Julian Williams for a couple weeks, right? And I wasn't against him, but I wanted to see. And first thing that I like, he put on boxing boots, shorts, and a t-shirt. I'm like, oh, all right, I see where he's going. You know what I mean? What that means to me is he's trying to lead by example. I'm gonna show you what I want done. I'm not just gonna tell you. I mean, I like that he did that. Also, he broke everything down in increments. He never tried to force so much information into J-Rock's head. I like that he did that. He broke everything down. He even recorded certain shit. It was like, yo, you see when you was doing this and that? You know what I mean? So that's what attracts me to a coach's information, being able to adjust and being able to take his time. Because anybody could take a Tyson Fury, train him, he win, and then be like, damn, he a great coach. But I wanted to see why. So, you know what I mean? And as far as the information, what I'm trying to see is if a coach can adjust with the rounds. You know what I'm saying? That's what lets me know if it's a good coach. If he can adjust with the rounds, if his guy just got knocked down, if his guy just got hurt, how are we gonna adjust to that? So that's what lets me know I got a good coach in front of me, or I'm watching good coaching.
As far as like the young dudes,
Yeah.
right? You, Rel, Daoud.
Yeah.
Trying to think, young K Corona. They say that there isn't any more teachers left.
Yeah.
Right? Do you feel like y'all were blessed to get the proper information?
I feel like, man, now that I think about it, man, I'm glad I listened to everything I did listen to. Because I'm going to keep it real. I wasn't a disciplined fighter. You know what I mean? In the gym, I listened, paid attention best I could. I humbled myself so that I could receive the information. But in the streets, I did what I wanted. So it didn't come out in my career. But I took in enough information and understood what my coaches were saying and other coaches were saying that I'm able to be a coach now. We was definitely blessed to be in those positions. And I mean, definitely, because now we able to start our own family tree and pass down this information to those willing to listen. You know what I mean? The thing is now, the problem is now, everybody's being rushed. They want it now, they want it now, they want it now because they see it. And they don't understand that it takes years. You know what I mean? Rasheem Jefferson is a great coach, but it takes years, and you gotta spend time with your coach. If you wanna really take in the information after the gym, go sit up under your coach. Even if you ain't saying nothing to him, sit up under him, because you know why? Boxing is gonna come up. Why? Because that's the lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's only gonna happen. So guys think just going to the gym, giving their all in the gym, is being a student. No, you gotta go sit up under your coach. I ain't gonna say live with him, but you gotta spend some time with him. I used to get on Kev Carmody nerves on Saturday mornings, knock on his door 7 o'clock in the morning. I swear to God, no bullshit. It's because I knew he was up early getting ready for work or whatever. I would go get him to throw tapes on, and, you know what I mean, and let me watch tapes, and for him to break it down to me what was happening in the ring. And that's how I got a better understanding of boxing. So guys gotta understand it take time. Number one, nothing is never done in a day, and then you have to be a pure student. Don't think just because you heard something and understood it that day that you got it. You got to go work on this shit. Timeless hours, man.
Whose tree do you fall under?
From my understanding, I fall under the tree of Jimmy. Is it Jimmy Beecham from South Philly? Or no, Jimmy Arthur. Jimmy Arthur of South Philly. They said he could train any animal. Like he could train a dog, a snake, a cat. You know what I mean? Real rap. They said it was true stories of him training pigeons, all types of shit. So Kev used to be trained by him. He came to the gym and he used to speak about Jimmy Arthur breaking shit down all the time. And repetition, that was one of his big things. Repetition. You gotta do this shit over and over. If I tell you something today, that don't mean do it today, that means do it every fucking day for the rest of your life. So that's one thing I learned. You know what I mean? I try to get it to my fighters. Some of them listen and some don't. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure if the fans understand that, like, Brother Nazem is from the tree of Bowie Fisher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, well, shit, it probably goes even further because...
Of course it does.
Yeah, so...
Because nobody teaches their self boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't look at YouTube and be like, all right, I know how to box. Because he said throw it this way. Because everywhere you go in the world, it's going to be a different way. I mean, you see a lot with the Russian fighters, jab come from there, sticking it, they got their hands all the way out here. You know what I mean? But then you might go to custom model camp, he got your hands here. You know what I mean? Then you might go fuck with Mayweather and them, and they got your hands out here. You know what I'm saying? You might go fuck with Derek James, he got your hands here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's different. I mean, everybody's different, so nobody can say like, oh, I just taught myself. Nah, somebody got something from somewhere that they held on to and they passed it along. And that's what's happening.